1st of November 2023. This news flash, I'm going to talk about the EFF again. And the fact that that article appeared in which the Russians published a list of friendly nations that will get special access to the Russian investment market, and South Africa was not on that list. That created quite a ripple, and there is a variety of responses about that and so forth, and I did a skidmark on it. But the fact of the matter is, that is a serious message that the local politicians need to take note of. And then you get something like this. EFF promises to arm Hamas. The EFF Economic Freedom Fighters, when it takes over next year, is going to arm Hamas and make sure Hamas is well armed. And there is the chief in charge, complete with his dishcloth over the head, and he sees himself there as a major terrorist. That is the perception that is created by this. And you must read this then together and look at what Putin himself said about that fiasco in Israel. Russia did not take sides, remained fairly neutral, but adamant that the killing of the women and the children and civilians must stop. But here comes this brave fighter. He will arm Hamas. For fuck's sakes, arm with what? Where is he going to get the arms that he wants to arm Hamas with? Hamas is being armed by some of the major players in the Middle East. Hamas doesn't have a shortage of arms. Ukraine send a lot of arms that they got from America to Hamas. Where does this bird brain come from to think he can actually play a role there? But what he can do well is create the impression and push the perception into the world of what he actually is. Now, I don't care whether you're a EFF supporter or not. The fact of the matter is, South Africa is in deep shit. But this man can make statements like this on the stage, and the dimwits that listens to him cheers him for it. And then we get something like this. Incompetence tweeted, "I really didn't want to post about politics today, but what Julius Malema said a few days ago baffles me. How can this fool say illegal foreigners are our future employers?" What the fuck is that? This thing is implying that South African blacks are not capable of running businesses. This is a direct insult to black people of this country, especially those who voted for the EFF. Allow me to remind him that the spaza shop concept existed in black neighborhoods long before Somali, Chinese and Pakistani nationals came to this country. They did not create these businesses. I'm just making aware that we listen when he spews garbage, but we'll let him because his foreigner movement is dying a slow death anyways. Now, I have seen many tweets along these lines. There's a lot of people, black people, that are not very happy with Malema's flirtations with foreigners. But there is so many posts about Malema's own origin. A large part of the population is convinced he was born in Zimbabwe. And then you've got Floyd Shibambo. He comes from Mozambique. And they've got other senior people in the EFF structures from Malawi, from Tanzania. You, the EFF supporters, need to ask yourself those questions. Why is that? Why is that? And then we get this. PMG tweeted, the Parliament has confirmed that Advocate B. Mqobane, EFF, will be a member of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services. The committee will be considering 3 bills today: NPA, AB, RICA Bill, and Divorce AB. And then the G responded to that. The same person that got fired from her position as PP for being incompetent is to become a member of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services, only in South Africa. The irony cannot be emphasized enough. But this is what we are dealing with when it comes to politicians in South Africa. I was in a discussion group a few nights ago, and the guy from Ghana, he asked pertinently, why the hell is South African people voting for criminals to govern them? A very valid question. I just kept quiet, I didn't respond to it at all. But that is what is currently going on in the world. South Africa has become a joke, really a joke. And then you see something like this. Raymond Alexander tweeted, raw sewage flowing through the community in the streets. And look at those images. Now, the question that I have is, Malema can whip the people into action to take to the streets for Hamas, for Palestine, shit like that, and for white monopoly capital, and for kill the bull, kill the farmer, things like that. He can get the people into the street, and then those street fighters destroy, destruct and loot. Always destroying. Always destroying. Now you look at those images of the sewage in those streets. Why does he not whip the fighters up to go to that municipal offices and rip those people out of those fucking seats that is in charge of these things? No, 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 no. That will not be done, because that is constructive. Rather, destructive. That's what they like. Destruction. That is what they like. Never anything or mass action to benefit the people. When the minister talks about increasing taxes, why is the people not in the streets about that? No. Cannot do that, because you see that increased taxes, Malema needs that to happen because he gets a portion of that. So you, the EFF fighters that is always sent into the streets, your needs is not important. You are only the instruments to satisfy his needs. And then there are people, fairly intelligent people, that are of the opinion that Malema must become the president. And they actually say he should become a governing dictator for 20 years. And I said to the guy, okay, just tell me one thing. You are now dead set on getting Malema as the president. Can you explain to me on what do you base the surety that, say, the Zulus will accept him as the leader? Can can you confirm that you have done your investigations? And you're sure the Zulus will accept this guy that is, there are talks that he's not even a pure South African. They will accept him as the leader. And lots of wata, but nothing constructive. And this is what I've spoken about many times. These black militants, they like to refer to the blacks as a 65 million unit. They dreaming. That 65 million is factionalized to a massive extent. The only faction that is really identifiable is the Zulus. And they are about 15 million. They are the majority tribe in South Africa. But these militants, they don't think, and they do things without paying attention to how that will affect the image of South Africa. As long as they can get their revolutionary militant messages out, they don't give a fuck about the country. And unfortunately, there's a lot of uneducated people that support them. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. And I want to say thank you to the supporters. We've hit the 10,000 mark on the subscribers. The next milestone, 15,000. Let's see how long it takes to get there. Thank you.